Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your daily tarot and astrology reading for Hump Day Wednesday, August 21st of 2024. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful week so far. Let's go ahead and hop into the cards and the transit so we can see how you can be better prepared to navigate these crazy, weird, and powerful times. Y'all forgive me, I need to shave my head as y'all can see, so I'm looking a little rough, so forgive me. But I promise in the next video I will not look as rough as I do right now. Let's go ahead and hop into the cards. This card came up yesterday. We have the Four of Swords, or the Four of Bows upright. There could be a need to kind of take some relaxation, some rest, and really more so, especially from the fears that we are projecting out into the future of things that have not happened yet. Unrealized fears, unrealized challenges. You know, looking out into the future and seeing what could be and focusing on the negatives and stuff like that. This could be a time today where we need to kind of rest and relax and recalibrate. Now, this also can speak to definitely people kind of, in this deck, the way that it's kind of presented is like, it gives me boy cry wolf energy, where he is seeing these beings or these spirits right there that are trying to scare him, and the doctor next to him is trying to be like, there's nothing there. I don't know what you're talking about, And, this kind of actually reminds me of, like, back in my childhood when I would wake up from, like, a really particularly bad dream or a nightmare, and I would have these night terrors, essentially, where I'd wake up and I'd be, like, in this in-between state where I would wake up and I would see things in my room. I've seen all kinds of different things in my room that shouldn't really be there. But as I adjust and my, I get back more into, I guess, my body, or my perspective kind of gets back more into the 3D aspect of things, then those things disappear. But are they still there? I just don't perceive them anymore. And therefore, because I can't perceive them, I'm no longer afraid. So I think there's an element of that too. It's like, be careful of boy who cries wolf energy, girl who cries wolf energy too. But also, like I said, we don't necessarily want to always take someone's, what they say for granted. Like, maybe there is someone that's kind of sending out a bit of a distress call, and maybe we do need to heed it. That's where I think the balance kind of comes in. We have to be a little bit more discerning. Now, we do have the Two of Wands, or the Two of Bones, that's following it. It shows this individual getting ready to walk through a portal, and he sees his reflection here too. This does speak to, we have a path that we can take. Either, generally it shows like someone either going left or right or whatever like that, right? But there's a path ahead of us. Now, I feel like with this card, though, the fact that it shows this individual in this portal, it's like, well, we can either walk into and accept, the person that, we can look in the mirror and we can accept that person as they are in that moment. Or we can be like, we can accept them and be like, I want to improve upon these things. Or we can just completely unaccept that person and other that person, and then make ourselves, and then that will kill our self-esteem, right? So there, we have to once again find the balance, right, between loving ourselves and accepting ourselves, but also wanting to improve. And just by simply wanting us to improve upon ourselves doesn't mean that we don't love the person who we are, that we see in the mirror. It could mean that we love that person so much that we want better for them. And I think that's the thing. I think so many people have kind of gotten complacent in their self-improvement because they want to just feel good and just feel better, but the reality is showing them like, hey, there's these areas that we have to work on, but you don't want to turn a blind eye to that reality. Maybe that's what the whole Four Swords thing is that maybe these parts right here are aspects of his subconscious, maybe things that he is denying, maybe things that he's putting off. It's like, hey, you need to actually like look at this thing and focus on it. And then if we were to focus on those things and realize it, maybe these beings right here in this card will turn into, they won't be as scary. Maybe they're presenting themselves as scary right now, but maybe if we actually address these things when we look in the mirror, turns out it's just a repressed aspect of ourselves that just wants to be understood. So I think that's the thing about it. You know, we can improve upon ourselves without getting complacent. You know, it's important to love yourself. It's important to accept who you are. But if there are obvious issues that are coming up that do, have a negative repercussion on your life, we don't want to turn a blind eye to that as well. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are doing that. It's called bypassing. So it's like, you don't want to spiritually bypass today. You don't want to bypass in general today. You don't want to neglect things that need to be taken care of just because you want to feel better. And I get it. Sometimes when we look in the mirror, whether we're thinking about it from a physical standpoint, a mental, emotional, spiritual, psychological, whatever, cool, whatever old, that we wanted to look at it, we may not like what we always see, right? We may not like it all, right? That's okay. You don't have to like everything and every aspect of yourself right now. But no need to hate yourself either. But also no need to just get 100% fully complacent either and just be like, it's okay. It doesn't matter if I have this thing that I need to work on. And I can actually take some steps to work on it and just ignore it. You don't want to do that either, right? So, maybe you just take one step or two steps. You don't have to run the entire marathon today. You never have to run the entire marathon in one day, unless you run marathons for a living. But you don't have to, you don't have to just run the whole marathon or win the whole race today. It's especially right now. This is a time of building. It's not a time of just trying to get things done super fast and get out the way. It's a time of building, right? I mean, astrologically though, it's not like a ton of stuff going on today as far as exact aspects. It's the last full day of the sun in Leo. That moon is going to be in Pisces. It's going to finish up in Pisces today. So we will see this moon, of course, make a square over to Jupiter and Mars, but that's going to be in the early part of the morning. And it will make some quincunxes over to this Mercury and Sun in Leo. But other than that, there's not really a ton of stuff that's going on today. So we'll see this moon is going to, conjunct Neptune, of course, here in, the early part of the evening here on the East Coast anyways. We'll see that moon conjunct Neptune. And of course, by this time, the sun will pretty much be in the exact quincunx to this Neptune as well, which does bring a bit of an auspicious kind of energy and a bit of an awkward energy to it, because the sun at this final degree is still reminding us, is like, hey, in the face of all the fog, in the face of all the confusion, and you may feel very confused right now. You may feel like things are very auspicious. You may feel like things are definitely very much so on the edge. In the face of all that, do you have the courage and the bravery, Leo, to really express and be yourself unapologetically? That's what this whole quincunx is about. And it's going to feel awkward to do so. It's 150 degrees. Like I said, it's the awkward stare from across the room. That's what I call the quincunx. And being that it's at 29 degrees and it's the last full day of the sun in Leo, it's definitely going to bring about some edgy energy, astrologically wise. And then, of course, that moon's going to slip into Aries, which is just going to fire things up even more. So it can be a day that really does inspire you and motivate you to, walk into this portal, to accept who you are, that you see in that portal, flaws and all, and move forward into this next stage of your evolution, if you will. Now that sounds like kind of corny and very, very spiritual fluff, if you will, but that's what it's about. It's about walking into that next stage of your spiritual evolution. So it's like, yeah, you may look in the mirror, you may not necessarily like everything that you see there, but if you love yourself, you just go for it. You walk through that portal and stuff like that, and you make a conscious effort and conscious decision to work on the things that you know you should work on, need to work on, and you don't have to fix it all right now. like, you're never going to fix all your problems, because the moment that you think you fix all your problems, there's going to be another one that shows up. But these are just challenges that help us grow. That's really what it comes down to. So, like I said, we'll see that moon shift into Aries, and then, like I said, doesn't really do like a ton. It's going to make a sextile over to Pluto, right? That'll give us a nice little opportunity to bring about some transformative energy too. Especially, when it comes to, I guess, maybe the way that we are perceived in like different groups of people, or the way that we feel about it as well. But other than that, not really a ton going on astrologically besides that moon conjunct Neptune, quincunxing the sun at 29 degrees. So that may be kind of interesting when we see that. So now, final card of the day. I do actually have the sun card. So, like I said, today's like that final test. It's like, okay, are you going to be more Leo-like here? Are you going to be more Leo-like? And just express yourself unapologetically. That's what it comes down to, right? Just laugh. I shuffled these decks very well, and I've gotten this Just Laugh card before, but I like this one thing that I have been doing a lot lately. Is like whether I'm laughing because something's legitimately funny, or whether I'm laughing because something seems a bit weird or challenging and I feel like I have to laugh it off, whatever like that. I've been laughing at things. I've been doing it at work. I was like, oh my gosh, this is wild. And I'll just laugh about it. And like, I've been telling my teammates, I'm like, I'm laughing because this is one of the ways I get through it. It's like, you gotta laugh it off. And most of the problems that or challenges that may come up in that day are pretty much solved that day. Some of them carry on, but most of them get solved that day, which lets me know that it's not really that big of a deal. So, more than likely, whatever it is, it's not that big of a deal. So just laugh and just be. That is going to do it for your daily tarot and astrology reading for this Hump Day Wednesday, August 21st. I trust that this message will assist you on your journey today. Y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful day, and I will see you all on the Cosmic Convergence, which I'll probably be doing that like at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. here. So, but anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys for that video. Peace.